Hello and welcome to the PowerMac G5 Part 3. This is the power supply mod video, and I would say doing this recording of this video I changed my mind quite a few times. At first all I wanted to use was actually just the plug on the back, so it would I didn't have to like cut a hole for the power supply cable or anything. All I wanted was just the plastic thing in the back. But as soon as I realized that you could actually fit in a full ATX power supply, I was like, I'm gonna go try hard on this one and modify the whole thing to fit a normal power supply. For some reason, Apple choose to use some solder here that needs about lava temperature before it's melting, so I'm having quite a hard time some of these areas. But yeah, here I'm just unscrewing it. I didn't even bother to clean it at first because I was just gonna throw it all away, but I realized that I'm gonna use it. This is the plug that I was gonna use. This is my current power supply that I scrapped for this purpose, and as you can see here, there's like 13.5 centimeters between the bolt holes that holds the PCB. And this is an old ATX, and lucky me, it's this exact same distance. Really lucky. So I could just cut the old one up and use it for mounting it in here. So in case I wanted to go back to ATX, I could always just swap it back. Here you can see I'm test fitting the one I'm willing to sacrifice. And as you can, I'm trying to show you that it fits without touching the lid of the power supply. And at this point I didn't know where to put this part of the power supply there. The modular part, but I was sure I was gonna do it where I'm cutting it up, because distance was 13.5 the one direction, but in the other direction it didn't really fit, and I'm just grinding off there. Here I'm just test fitting. I'm gonna rivet it to the bottom, because the rivets keep it. I think rivets make a really nice finish, and rivets are made of aluminum, so you can always drill them out if you don't want them anyway. And I'm using a bolt because the rivets I got here was a bit too long, and the two steel plates were not thick enough to make a rivet lock in place. Just vacuum, so there isn't any like steel parts that can short any circuits. And you can see I got an earth on there, so I'm not gonna die, which is nice. And here I'm just testing the distance between, so I'm just measuring and just drilling carefully. And vacuuming again. I'm vacuuming all the time, just to make sure. And this is the original insulating plastic at the bottom, and I'm gonna use it again. And I cut the new hole, so it fits in place. It's quite simple, so why not do it? Yep. As you can see, the PCB it's much smaller than the original PCB, even though this is 850 wattage and the old one was only 600 watts. But all the components are also way more, how do you say it, a lot closer together in this one. Here I'm cutting the hole for the modular part of the power supply where I can put all the plugs in, and I graded all the sharp edges off so I wouldn't cut my hands. And here I'm gonna solder on the wires. This is their internal power, 230 volts or 230 actually. I did drop some pieces of solder, but I did manage to sweep it up afterwards, so it's fine. I'm not an expert in soldering in any way. It's just practice. And here I'm putting on the lid. Nice and easy. I didn't drill any holes for cables. I used the ones that were already there, and it turns out fine. With the 4-pin and the 24, the 8-pin for the GPU and the 24-pin for the power supply, and there's also a cable for the graphics card as well. That is not modular. As you can see, it fits right in. Nice. And I'm just screwing it all back together. And you will see in a later video that I choose to replace the original fans with some more silence optimized ones. The bearings in these fans are worn out, I'm pretty sure. There's lots of screws in this power supply, as you can see. And now I'm testing with power on. As you can see, the fans come on, so I was happy. If you haven't watched the previous videos, you can click here to watch them, and if you want to see the later videos when I upload them, you can click here as well. And thank you for watching. Bye.